Assalamu alaikum class and a very good morning. How are you all? I hope all of you are doing well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Alhamdulillah, Miss is also doing fine. Class, are you doing your most important thing in your life? You must be wondering, what is that most important thing that Miss is asking about? Well, I'm talking about studying. Are you doing that? If yes, then excellent. Keep up the good work. Students, today in our class, we'll be learning something new and fun. But before starting our class, I want to introduce myself to you. I am your BGST teacher and I am Khadusna Fariha from Sector 4 branch, Uttara Milestone School and College. With this introduction, let's start our class now.
So students, welcome to my class. Today, our class number is 43. Hurry up, write down the CW number on your copy and also don't forget to write the date as well. Today, we are going to have our class on chapter 6, that is Culture of Bangladesh. So, what are our class objectives today? I'm pretty sure by the end of the day, all of you will have a clear idea about the topic as well as will be able to answer one-word questions regarding the topic that we are going to learn today. Also, all the students will be able to answer any question related to it.
Before starting our main lecture for today, I want to check that whether you have remembered what we have learned in our previous class or not. In our previous class, you have learned chapter 4 MCQs and CQs. I want to check quickly that whether you have learned your lessons properly or not. Let's check with MCQs. Can you tell me what is migration? Those who have answered correctly, I will appreciate you and I'm telling you very good. But those who haven't answered, please go through your book and read it properly because migration is very important from chapter 4. I am telling you for your betterment again. Migration is when people move from one place to another place permanently. That means if we travel from one place to another place just for enjoyment, in that case, migration will not be happened. Migration happens only then when people leave one place and go another place permanently. Okay, then can you tell me how many types of migration are there? Those who have answered 2, very good. Migrations are 2 types. Can you tell me what are they? Has anyone said internal and external? Those who have said internal and external, please correct yourself and do not do this kind of mistakes again. I am saying you again and again. Students will do this kind of mistakes. They will write that there are 2 kinds of migration, internal and external, but there is no such elements or types of migration like external. Migration is 2 types, you are right, but internal and international, not external. Please do remember it. Then again, what is social mobility? Social mobility is changing of status in a society. Suppose you have born in a poor family, but after getting your education, you have become now a doctor or engineer. That means your status in the society has changed. In that case, you have already entered in the process of social mobility. Social mobility is nothing but changing of status of a person in a society. I hope you have understood it already. Then, what is birth rate? Can you tell me? The student who can answer, very good. And those who haven't answered, please check your book. Birth rate is the birth of the children in every 1,000 women. Okay, so we will now move to our main lessons for today, and we will be starting with lesson 1, that is concept of culture. Culture is actually lifestyle of a people. That means how we move, how we talk, how we walk, and our behavior, our dressing sense, everything belongs to our culture. If you notice, you will see the dressing sense of our Bengali people and the people in the Western country, how they dress are totally different, right? How we are dressing is representing our culture. Then again, their dressing systems is representing their culture. Picture of human life is revealed through culture. All a man does and thinks to preserve his existence and to serve some purposes are culture. Culture is the way to preserve a person's existence. Through your culture, you actually live. See, whenever you will visit to other country and people will want to know your introduction, you will say that I am from Bangladesh and I am Bengali. The moment you are saying yourself a Bengali, that means you are presenting your culture. That is your existence, that you live through Bengali culture. Here is the example given. Man eats food to live, but when he cooks it and decorates it, then it becomes his culture. See, we Bengali people also eat rice. Then again, the people who are living in Japan and Korea, they also eat rice. But how we cook our rice and how the people in Korea and Japan are living, they cook their rice are totally different. They eat sticky rice where we eat normal cooked rice. Our rice is not sticky. So their sticky rice is their culture, and our rice, the way we are cooking and decorating our rice, is our culture. That is why their written is culture is actually lifestyle of people. Here you can see food all over the world. First of all, our food. Whenever we see fish and rice, instantly we can say that this food is for Bengali people. That means through just food, we can visualize a culture. Then the next picture, you can see sushi, and whenever we say sushi, instantly you can think of Japan, because sushi is the food which represents the culture of Japan. Then again, the South Korean food, you can say it is jjajangmyeon or the ramen, right? Ramen, jjajangmyeon, these kind of foods are actually the representation of Korean culture. Then pizza, pasta. Whenever we say these words for food, instantly we can think of Italian foods, right? As pasta, pizzas are the representations of the Italian food culture. I hope you have understood. Now we will know how we have transformed our writing process. See, in the beginning of the era, we didn't write on the paper. We didn't have pen to write either. So there were people who used to write on the stone or on the curving stone. Then the feather and ink had invented. People used to write with feather and ink even on the stone, because still no paper have invented back then. Then the technology, the science have invented paper, and now gradually the typewriter has been invented, and now we are living in such an era where we can even type just by using computer, because we have now computers to write. See how the writing even have improved and invented and changed throughout the time. This is very interesting and is also important for your examination, because there is a question may come that how the writing process have been changed or improved or invented throughout the time. So please memorize it. Now we will know that how many types of elements are there in our culture. Okay, every culture has two types of elements. How many types of elements? Two types of elements. There, one is concrete culture, another is abstract element of the culture. So what is now this concrete element of the culture? The concrete element of culture, that means a culture that we can see, we can touch. Okay, concrete is something that we can touch, we can feel. So concrete culture is something we can touch or feel. So anything that we can touch, any culture that we can feel is known as concrete culture. Then again, on the opposite side, whatever we cannot see, we cannot touch, we just can feel, it is known as abstract culture. Abstract culture is completely opposite of the concrete culture. Concrete culture can be seen, touched, but abstract culture cannot be seen or cannot be touched. I am giving you an example. See, you are now reading, right? Or you are listening to my class, right? So you are sitting under the fan. The fan is the example of concrete culture, because you can touch, you can touch and you can see the fan, but you are having the air from the fan that you can touch, that you cannot see, but you can feel it. So the air of the fan that you are getting is the abstract culture. Concrete culture here is the fan, abstract culture is the air. I am your teacher. Right now you are listening to my voice and I am sharing my knowledge with you. This knowledge cannot be seen, but you can feel it, you can take it. So this knowledge is abstract culture. But when you can see me in the beginning of the video, but right now maybe virtually, not physically, but you can see me, right? So the teachers are here the concrete culture. I hope you have understood the difference between and the definition of concrete culture and abstract culture. Now we will know the lesson 2 that talks about elements of Bangladeshi culture. Like other elements of culture, our Bangladeshi culture has also two types of elements. One is concrete elements of Bangladeshi culture and another is abstract elements of Bangladeshi culture. And the concept of these two elements of our culture are also same, where concrete elements of Bangladeshi culture, we can see it, we can feel it and we can touch it. But the abstract elements of Bangladeshi culture cannot be seen, cannot be touched, but can be felt. Okay, so concrete culture, or it is also known as visible elements, that means which is visible, which is seen, which can be seen. So the another name of concrete culture is visible elements, like dress, food, transport, sari, lungi, fotua, right? These are our concrete culture. Rice, fish, right? These foods are our concrete culture. We can see it. It is visible. Bus, rickshaw, boat. These things are the example of our transportation. These are concrete culture because they are visible. Where on the other side, there are some cultures of ours which cannot be seen, which is not visible. They are invisible. That's why the other term of abstract culture is invisible elements like language, like knowledge, like religious belief. Our religious belief can be different from your religious belief, right? Hindu, Muslims, Buddhist, Christian, all these people have the different religious belief. We cannot see their belief, but we can feel it, right? Our language, it cannot be seen, but we can feel it. It is invisible, but we can feel it. That's why this is abstract culture of our Bangladesh. See, culture is like a mirror of a nation. As I've already told you, whatever we do is the reflection of our culture. We speak in Bangla, right? Our Bangla language is a reflection of our culture. It's like a mirror. Whenever you stand in front of a mirror, you can see the reflection of yourself. Culture is just like a mirror of a nation. Whatever we do for our culture, right? It actually reflects the nation itself. That's why it says that culture is like a mirror of a nation. In every year, whenever we observe Pohela Boishakh, we are actually saying the whole world that this is our culture. And whenever people say that Pohela Boishakh, people can instantly think of our Bengali culture because this celebration of ours reflecting our culture just like a mirror, and that is why it is known as culture is like mirror of a nation. The people of our country created the concrete elements of culture for their own necessity. Like when we visit the museum, we can see many things which are 100 years old. From those, we can have a concept about man and their culture from that period. That means concrete culture has been created by the people for their own benefit and as per their wish. Whenever we have found that it is easy to adopt and it is good for our lifestyle, we have adopted it and it has become our concrete culture, right? In the past, people used to dress just, people used to wear just sari and lungi and Punjabi, but now we are adopting other people's culture as well. Now, both the men and women are wearing Western dress as well. So, the concrete culture is changing, right? Our dressing sense is changing. Our dressing pattern is changing. But whenever we visit to a museum, we can see that people used to wear those dresses in the past. So we can have a idea that what they used to live, how they used to live, how they used to wear. So that is why there is saying that concrete culture, the people of our country created these elements of our culture for their own necessity. Then again, concrete and abstract cultures are not isolated from each other. That means change in one culture brings about changes in another culture of elements. As I have already given you the example of a dress, right? In the past, the people used to wear just dresses, just Punjabi, lungi, fotuas and saris. But now we have changed. Our dressing pattern have changed. So we have changed our dressing patterns into Western culture as we are adapting and we are modernizing our dress sense with the passage of time. And whenever we are dressing in a Western dress systems or dress patterns, you will notice that our behavior is also changing. Our way of talking is changing. Our food habit is changing. In the past, people do not used to eat pizzas and pastas so often, but now we are used to eat those foods. As with our concrete culture, our abstract culture is also changing, right? So that is why concrete culture and abstract culture, they are not separated, different or isolated from each other. If one changes, another will change. In your book, there is an example given with Nakshi Katha. Please go through it and you will understand it. See, you can see a smiley face of a farmer of our Bangladesh. This picture tells about the agriculture sector of our country. Why the agriculture sector is here important? Because our culture related with this agriculture. We know that our land is fertile, right? Our land is fertile, and that is why our culture is rich. How is that? People of various races who came here, they create different kind of culture. From the very primitive period, our fertile land of this country has encouraged people to be farmers, because the fertile land, it is easier for the people to grow different kind of things, different kind of crops on the land. And that's why people's manners, music, dance, houses and every aspect of culture has built up centering around this agro-based production management. You can see that there are some kind of songs like Rakhalia, Murshidi, Jari Shari. These songs, they actually represent our agriculture sides of Bangladesh. These songs tells about the story about our agro-based sector. Then again, if you want to listen to this song like Rakhalia, Murshidi, Jari Shari, you can easily connect yourself and you will have the idea what these songs are actually representing, and they represent our agriculture, agro-based culture. I want to tell you about one celebration that we celebrate, that is Nabanno Utshav. In the village, people do celebrate this celebration or occasion with a very heartful way. Not only that, in this celebration and in this kind of occasion, they generally cut the crops and they celebrate it. See, if our land wasn't fertile, then we wouldn't celebrate this kind of occasion like Nabanno Utshav. Then our culture would be different. Just because our land is fertile, just because our country is agriculture based country, that's why our occasions, our celebrations have also changed its form and features. After this, it comes the culture that related with the not land but the river, and that is water body. We all know that our country is a riverine country, right? There are lots of rivers as are flowing on the body of Bangladesh. And in our day-to-day life, a good deal of soil is also used just beside this water body. It can be understood seeing the things ranging from earthen pitcher to bird clay blade, bamboo, cane and wood have been used in Bangladesh for a long period of time. Water bodies have an important role in producing food and doing work. And the thing is, whenever we say bhate, mache, bangali, that rice and fish. Rice comes from land, that is a representation of our agriculture, On the other side, fish is the representation of our water body. Now we'll know that what are the occupation that can be changed based on this water body, based on the river. Thousands of people in our country who have chosen agriculture as their occupation, as their livelihood. On the other side, many people have chosen fishing just based on this water body, just based on the availability of our river in our country. You can say fishermen, boatmen, both making artisans. These people have chosen this kind of occupation that related with our water body for making their livelihood. And then again, there are many kind of river-based songs like Bhatiyali, Shari spontaneously tell about the rivers and river-dependent people. Besides farmers, weavers, boatmen and fishermen, there are many other occupations like blacksmith, potter and barber and so on. So, in our country, we can see various of occupation with which people have involved themselves. We have farmers, we have fishermen, we have boat artisans, and we also have potter, blacksmith, and barber. Now, we will talk about that how the different kind of languages group has changed the variation in our culture. We can say that here three languages group have brought their language and culture in our culture. They are the Austric, the Dravid, and the Indo-European. Their influence is still visible in our culture. So, the influence of these three language group, the Austric, the Dravid, and the Indo-European, can be still visible in our culture. Regarding religious belief, there are many varieties can be seen in our country. In our country, we generally have four major religions, not types of religion. We have mainly four major religions. First Islam, then Hindu, then Christian, and then Buddhism. Based on the majority, Muslims are more in numbers, but there are still people who are living in our country whose religion is not Islam. Some people here are Hindu, some people here are Christian. Again, some people are from Buddhist religion. But even though we have different kind of religions, we are Bangladeshi. But for these different kind of religions, our culture have become different as well. Like on the picture, you can say that this is the celebration of Eid that is observed by the Muslim people. The biggest celebration, religious celebration of Muslim people, right? And this celebration is totally different from puja that is celebrated by the Hindu people. And for our different kind of religion, we have different kind of occasions to observe, different kind of celebrations to celebrate. Just because of the variations of our religion in our country, we have different kind of form and features and different kind of features in our culture. This is so great, right? Besides ancient Hindu, the colonial rulers thrived in this country. right? We know that in the very beginning of the history, various peoples have come to our country. The England has ruled us. The Portuguese has come to our country and they ruled us. So they visited, they come to our country, they ruled our country, and when they left some of their cultures in our culture, and some of their culture is still being carried on in our culture by the people of the country. Hence, we have long tradition of living with nature, culture from various races of people, and inspiration from several religions. With all this, like population diversity, the Bengali cherish culture variety. This is the thing, that though we have different kind of variations in our country and we have different kind of religions in our country, but at the end of the day we are all Bengali who are living in one independent country that is known as Bangladesh. The nature of Bangladesh. Bangladesh is the child of nature. She is blessed with the nature's beautiness, but still this nature can be sometimes harmful for Bangladesh as well. One feature of the traditional Bengali culture is here nature, and our nature is as rich as she is capricious of destroying and constructing. That means our nature is like blessing for us. On the other side, it can be a curse for us because it has the ability for both destroying and constructing. This was not possible to be ignored, is still not possible, as there is hostile behavior of nature like storm, floods, drought, flush, and this kind of uncertainties prevail. Few days back, we have witnessed a storm, right? And this kind of storm, this kind of tornado, this kind of natural phenomena are so common in our Bangladesh. As I've already told you that our nature, it has both the ability of destroying and constructing. So this kind of storms, this kind of natural phenomena, and this kind of natural calamities can bring bad luck for our country sometimes. People of this country have been attracted and faithful to the Almighty. They have a genuine faith on our Almighty Allah, our Creator, and that's why people of all religions, whether he or she from Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, or Christian, from all the religion, they adore this power from their respective belief. In this adoration, there is a prayer to Allah or God, as there is the mention of the service to mankind. The main symphony of this cultural diversity of Bengalis is called humanism. It means love for mankind. So, what is humanism? Humanism is love for mankind. The main symphony of the cultural diversity of the Bengali is called humanism, and this is also known as mankind. The love for mankind is humanism. Harmonious relations among the people. We find the reflection of this speech in the songs of Lalon, Rabindranath and Nazrul. So, if you listen to the song of Rabindranath, Lalon and Nazrul, you will find the message for the love for the mankind. In their song, they have represented the harmonious relation among the people of our country, that is called humanism. This humanism is also being portrayed through poetry and songs. Like poet Chandidas has said, man is above all, nothing is above it. How beautifully he said this, that we, the human, are above all and nothing can be above it. By saying it, he has pointed out to the humanity, the mankind, the affection and love among the people. Again, there is an unknown folk poet who has said, cows are multicolor, but the milk is of the same color. All sons in the entire world come from mother. That means even though there can be see different kind of cows with different kind of colors, some cows can be white, some cows can be black, and some can be brown, or some can be mixed of this color, but the milk that we get from cows is white in color. It is like the people, though we have different kind of religions, we have different kind of races, we have different kind of beliefs, but we are the people that are made of flesh and blood. Flesh and blood, right? If we cut our flesh, we will have the blood that is red in color, just like the milk of cows, milk of different cows, which is same in color, and the color is white. And Kazi Nazrul Islam, he said that two flowers are in the same stem, Hindu, Muslim. Muslim is apple of his eye, while Hindu is his heart. Now this time for your feedback. I believe that you have understood what we have learned in this lesson, because this lesson was very much interesting and it was all about the real life. It was all about ourselves, our culture. And let me check whether you have understood the class properly or not. Can you tell me what is culture? Yes, culture is lifestyle of people. Then, how many elements of culture we can see? The answer is 2. Food is abstract culture or concrete culture. Now tell me, what kind of elements food is? Did you say abstract? No, it is concrete, as we can touch it, we can feel it, and of course we can eat it. So food is concrete culture, not abstract culture. What kind of culture knowledge is? The knowledge now I am sharing with you, what kind of element this knowledge is. Yes, this is abstract culture. Very good. You cannot see it, you can just feel it. Now, how many elements we have in our Bangladeshi culture? It is also 2. Those who have answered properly, very good. Keep up the good work.
On the screen, you can see the questions related to today's class. I have already answered to this question throughout my class, so memorize them well and try to learn them attentively, because your homework is learning all RQ. Okay, from our today's class.
So students, that's all for today's class. I hope all of you have understood what we have learned in our today's class. But one thing I want to warn you before finishing our class, and that is, don't forget to do your homework and don't forget to learn your lesson every day. With this, I'm ending the class. Thank you for staying with me.